Hey team, Rory here. Wanted to talk about why on the human program we generally opt for full body strength days or upper lower strength days as opposed to a bodybuilding split. Over the years I've come to realize that if you're looking for athletic or overall performance and you're performing a bodybuilding body part type split, so for example leg day one day, then chest, then back, then shoulders and arms, that sort of body part split, and you're only hitting each area or muscle group once a week, you're leaving a lot of opportunity on the table for improved athletic and overall performance. We tend to opt, as I said, for those full body strength days or those upper lower split strength days for quite a few reasons, which we're going to go through now. So the first reason is when you perform a bodybuilding type split, you're going to get a lot of DOMS. DOMS stands for delayed onset muscle soreness, because one day is leg day, so you're absolutely smashing the legs, you're doing your squats and then maybe your Romanian deadlifts, your leg extensions, your hamstring curls, your calf raises. Your legs are going to be toast for the next few days. Anyone who's hit a hard leg training session before can attest to this. You can barely walk. So how on earth are you going to continue to perform in your athletic endeavor? Whether that's playing a sport like rugby or basketball, whatever, or just moving around and performing in life, you're going to feel restricted and uncomfortable because of that intense DOMS in whatever area you've trained earlier. So we really prefer the full body strength days or the upper lower strength days because we split our training volume for a given body part or muscle group over a few days. So we might split our lower body volume into 2 or 3 training days, meaning that you're not going to get as much DOMS, you're not going to be as sore after those training sessions, so you can continue every single day to perform in your sport or just in life because you're not carrying around that intense soreness. So that's one reason why we opt for the full body or upper lower strength days. Along with that comes a reduced injury risk. So let's say you do that bodybuilding type split and you absolutely smoke your legs and your hamstrings on a given training day. If you train in that evening or for the next few days, there's a possibility that you will injure yourself because let's say in your sport requires running and your hamstrings have got a lot of muscle soreness. There's a possibility that you will end up straining a hamstring or a muscle group because you're already pre-fatigued, and also that soreness is going to result in a changed technique. If you're looking to perform optimally athletically, then just smoking a given body part with that bodybuilding type split is not ideal. Let's move on to another reason why we prefer full body or upper lower training splits. It's because you get a higher training quality. If you think about, again, let's just use leg day. If you've done 3 or 4 sets of back squats, 3 or 4 sets of Romanian deadlifts, your leg extensions, your hamstring curls, by the end of the second and third and maybe even 4th and 5th exercise, your training quality has just diminished significantly because there's a lot of fatigue already accumulated in that session. So what that means is that you're not going to be able to move the bar fast, you're not going to have that bar speed, you're not going to be producing the same amount of power, your technique is going to break down, and it's going to be much more difficult for you to progress on those exercises later in your session because you've already accumulated fatigue. And as hopefully we know, progression, so lifting heavier weights or performing more repetitions or both over time, is how we drive that strength and muscular adaptation. So by performing a bodybuilding type split where you're absolutely smoking a muscle group on a given day, those later exercises are not going to be the same quality. On the other hand, if you perform that full body training split or the upper lower type training splits, again, let's say you perform 3 full body strength days, you perform your squats on one day, your Romanian deadlift or hamstring curl variation on another day, and then maybe a single leg like a lunge or a step up on a third day. Because you've only done 1 or 2 lower body strength exercises on that given day, you're going to be able to perform that exercise with much higher quality. So you're going to be able to produce that power and bar speed that we want to drive our athletic performance. you're going to have better technique. Your technique is less likely to break down. You're going to be in better positions. So again, you're going to reinforce those good movement patterns. And along with that will be a reduced injury risk. If you're fatigued in your leg training day from just absolutely smoking the legs with all those exercises I mentioned earlier, your technique's more likely to break down and you're opening up the opportunity to be in bad positions and injure yourself. On the other hand, in those full body training days where we're splitting the lower body volume over, because you're going to be fresher, you're going to be able to maintain that technique much better and less likely to expose yourself to injury risk. And then the third and probably most important reason is it enables progression. So as I said, with those bodybuilding type splits, by the time, if you do your squats and RDLs and leg extensions and hamstring curls all on one day, by the time you get to the third and fourth exercise, you've just run out of energy. You're fatigued from the previous exercises, so it's going to be difficult for you to progress on those exercises and add more repetitions or weight from the previous weeks because you're just fatigued. On the other hand, if you do those full body training days, so you've got squats one day, Romanian deadlifts and hamstring curls another day, lunges another day, you're fresh for each one of those given lower body exercises, so you can give it a lot of energy and you can progress from the week's performance before. So very important there is that those full body training days enable progression. Now, third reason is a lot of the literature coming out now is starting to suggest that dividing your training volume for a particular muscle group over multiple training days, at least 2 training days, likely results in improved muscle growth. And even though our goal is not, the sole goal of our training is not muscle growth, it is a very important part of our training because more muscle improves your strength and power production capabilities, and it also reduces injury risk. If you've got a balanced physique, you've developed your hamstrings, that's going to help prevent injury risk. You've strengthened your upper back and your lats. Just having a well-balanced physique is going to help to prevent injury in your given sport or athletic pursuit, or just in life, your overall performance. So that additional benefit of the likely improved muscle growth from splitting that training volume over multiple sessions is a very valuable benefit there. Now, one more benefit which I didn't write on this list but is also quite valuable for people is just that sometimes life gets in the way of training sessions. And if you have a bodybuilding type split where you've got legs one day, chest, then back, then shoulders and arms, or whatever your split might be, and if you're busy in the later half of the week or you aren't able to complete a number of sessions, you may have missed the opportunity to work on that muscle group or that area and progress on those exercises for a whole week. On the other hand, if you split into those, for example, 3 full body strength training sessions and you're not able to complete your session for the later half of the week, you've still gotten 2 great opportunities in those first 2 full body strength training sessions in the week to work on your leg, your lower body and upper body strength. So you're still going to be progressing even if you're not able to complete all your training sessions for the week. So realistically, it's much more sustainable and going to allow you to progress even when certain life circumstances get in the way. So to summarize, team, there's a lot of benefits for going with full body strength training sessions or upper lower strength training sessions compared to your bodybuilding splits. If you're looking to optimize your athletic or overall performance and you're still performing bodybuilding type body part splits, you're leaving a lot of opportunity on the table. Progressing to something like a few full body strength days a week, or maybe 4 upper lower strength training sessions a week, you'll find that you're just able to get so much more out of your training and ultimately drive your performance.